So there's this assumption people have about dissociative identity disorder for some reason, that it's about being multiple people in one body. That's not actually what this is. DID isn't a collection of completely separate humans living inside someone. It's one mind, one person that learned how to divide themselves in order to survive. But those divisions, they can feel so different, so distant from each other, that sometimes it's hard to believe they belong in the same life. Hi, my name is Aurora, and I am an alter in a DID system, I guess. It doesn't really feel like I'm an alter, but I just feel like me, you know? And when I say we, not because we're separate people, but because that's the only way to describe how it feels. So today, I wanted to talk about something that doesn't really get explained enough. How different parts of one person can feel like completely different ways of existing. Because even though we are one person, there are definitely moments where that feels very, very far away. So, when DID forms, it's through repeated trauma, usually, or should I say exclusively, in early childhood, when a child can't safely process what's happening. The brain doesn't just cope, it separates. It puts things in different places, different emotions, different memories, different ways of being. And over time, those parts grow. They learn how to exist on their own terms. They learn how to protect. They learn how to feel things the rest of the system can't. So, instead of one continuous identity, we get a system. And that's like the clinical term, I guess. I don't know clinical terms. So, we're not broken. We're just divided by necessity. Let me give you a simple example. Jade loves sushi. Like, it genuinely makes her happy. But Milo, he can't stand it. Not in like a casual way. The smell alone can make him feel physically sick. And that contrast isn't small. It's really jarring because it's the same body, the same life, having two completely different reactions to this same exact thing. And it doesn't stop there. Okay, I'm good. Just focus. Sorry, I started feeling really weird all of a sudden. Anyway, where was I? It's it's jarring. Same body, same life, two different reactions. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. We don't just like different things. Sometimes we need different things. Different comfort, different people, different levels of safety. So internally, it can feel like never fully landing on solid ground. Then there are the different voices, you know? Noni, one of our main people that are elsewhere or whatever, is the only one in our system who has a British-like accent, because when, like, I don't know why, but, like, that's just her thing, I guess. We've seen it on videos that our fiance have taken of us, because she's been helping us with a lot. Like, I can't thank her enough. I don't ever want to be without her. Like, we didn't grow up in the UK. No one taught us that. But when Noni speaks, that's just what comes out as her voice. And it's not something she just puts on. It's something she just is. Because identity in a system isn't built the same way. It's shaped by experience, like favorite books or TV shows or whatever you grew up with. It's built by distance. What the other part needed to be. And sometimes that means sounding like someone who feels very far away from everything else. This is where it starts to feel almost impossible to explain, because different parts don't just like differently. Sometimes they feel the body differently. Lily has a strong intolerance to vodka, for example. Hives, red skin, heat rising through the body. It's uncomfortable, it's visible, it's real. But Noni? Nothing. Same body. Two completely different experiences. And trying to make sense of that, trying to explain that to other people, can feel exhausting. Because it sounds impossible. But it's not. It's what happens when the brain learns to compartmentalize survival. When something as simple as using your hands can change. When, like, one of our littles is left-handed, everyone else is right-handed. So when they're fronting, things don't line up the same way. Writing feels off. Movement feels unfamiliar. It's like being in your own body, but not fully recognizing how to use it, if that makes sense. My brain is going everywhere right now. So some parts also look differently internally. Different features, different skin tones, and that can be hard to talk about because from the outside it doesn't match. But internally, it makes sense. Because those identities were shaped in completely different emotional spaces. They didn't form together. They formed apart. So of course, they don't always feel the same. Now, imagine all of that happening at once. We don't always agree. Sometimes we strongly disagree. One part wants closeness, another feels unsafe even thinking about it. One trusts, another remembers why that's dangerous. And then when those collide, it's not just being indecisive, it's tension, it's noise, it's feeling pulled in opposite directions with no clear way forward. It can feel like you're arguing with yourself, but the emotions just don't feel like they belong to the same place. This doesn't always stay internal either. It affects everything. Relationships, choices, how we show up in the world. From the outside, it can look inconsistent, but internally, it's constant negotiation, constant adjusting, constant trying to make space for everyone. And sometimes that means someone goes unheard. And that hurts a lot sometimes. But none of this came from nowhere. These differences exist because they had to. Because at some point, this was the only way to survive. Every part, even the ones that conflict, even the ones that don't understand each other, they all come from the same place, trying to keep us alive. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. DID is not about being multiple separate people. It's about one person who had to become many things in order to survive. And those parts can feel incredibly different, sometimes even incompatible, but they are all part of the same life. And learning how to listen to each other, how to coexist, how to slowly, carefully feel like one whole, that's something we're still learning every single day. But things can only go uphill from there, right? I've been through the worst. Why should I suffer because of that? Thank you for listening this far, if you did. If you want to learn more about our system or about DID, you can subscribe or just stay for the next video. We're really glad that some of you are here just to listen. I don't know why, but it makes us feel a little less alone, knowing that we have at least one or two people that continue to come back. I've never really had that. Anyway, have a good day, night, whatever. Peace.